Hang on a second. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, we're going. Not the recording, the live. I was looking at the wrong one. We're not. That's embarrassing. Hey, everybody.
I'm looking at the damn timer and waiting for it to go.
No.
God dang it.
God damn it.
Well,
we made so many recorded videos. I'm in that mood.
We're starting off fresh here. Welcome to Teenage Mutant Ninja Big Fat Dubs podcast. That's right. I'm throwing some flair there, okay?
Yeah, there's some
flair. It's all about the tweedles, all right?
I like how you're like always taking something like we really like, and like you're just throwing big fat dubs into it. It's like Teenage Mutant Big Fat Dubs. I'm like
Teenage Mutant Ninja Big Fat Dubs.
Teenage Mutant Fat Dubs.
All right. Next week will be Transformers Big Fat Dubs in disguise. Live long and big fat dubs.
Yeah, big fat dubs.
And we ain't even
May the big fat dubs
we ain't even truckies. I like the J.J. Abrams one, but not this one.
Big fat dubs, Duel Master.
It's time. The big fat dubs. Oh, that was good. That was actually pretty damn good. I was actually proud of that one. While we're acting like a bunch of morons,
yeah, right?
Welcome to Big Fat Dubs Sports Talk. We're on Week 16 review. We are going to do our Week 17 predictions and look at the playoffs, but there's a lot going on this NFL week. Well, bam! We're going to do our quick short of the game review, and we got to talk about stuff.
We got a lot to talk about.
We got some talking to do today.
Third to last week of the NFL regular season, and it is going down. We got fighting on the sidelines. We got coaches being fired.
We have draft pick that's becoming bust. We've got, a special announcement that I want to say. I ain't gonna say nothing more on that because he deserves an honor on his own.
We also got some unfortunate news about a player or two that we're going to share as well. We got all kinds of stuff. But we are going to jump right into it so we can get to that stuff. Starting off with our last week's Week 16 review of the week.
Yeah, we're going to start off with a Thursday night football game where the Jaguars continue to make that playoff push and that AFC South title push, beating the Jets 19-3. Didn't really watch the game. Didn't care to watch the game.
New first place AFC South division leaders.
I'm hoping this holds out. I'm hoping the Jags can hold out because be a great story for Trevor Lawrence in his sophomore year to actually get this and everything like that. Also, Jets, what I've been saying from the get-go, y'all are going to bust. Y'all are going to bust. Y'all suck.
Okay, Ingram's the tight end.
Yeah, he's a baller, and he's killing it.
Apparently so, because I thought this was a wide receiver.
Nope.
So I saw him put up these points when we were playing in fantasy. We were playing. I'm like, who's this Ingram guy? I'm like, isn't Kirk and like Jones their number 1 and 2? And the tight end, which you haven't heard anything about.
He's really came. I mean, he came from New York, the Giants, and he's really coming on his own. It was a great pickup for the Jaguars to get him. He's a very talented guy, and
so very talented, just under the radar right now.
Yeah, well, he didn't have a good start. Like he was very quiet, and then over the last month, he's kind of really put up some big numbers. And that's right. Beat you in fantasy. My dog.
Well, yeah, when he has two tight ends go like 30 points each.
Hey, that's why you stock up on some tight ends. According to my man, George Kittle, the Corn Man. That's right.
Anyway, guys, yes, Jags getting the big win. That much needed win for them, like I said, put them in first place in their division. I mean, the way it's looking right now, the Jags, I almost kind of want to see over the Titans anyways.
I think the Titans are more deserving. I think the Titans are one-dimensional. They're focused on, and we'll talk about that when we get to their game, but they're so focused on getting the ball to Henry. Tannehill's done as a quarterback for Tennessee. I don't think he is going to be there much longer. And this is such a great story for the Jaguars. This is kind of what they were hoping to get out of Trevor Lawrence, a season where they're making a playoff and everything like that.
It's his sophomore year. I mean, that's what you hope to see, improvement in your sophomore quarterback. And obviously last year they did not have a winning record. This year they have a better record. Still 2 weeks left. They could actually have a winning record by the end of the season, essentially.
Yep.
Jets, I have a feeling with their quarterback woes going on that I honestly see them lose games.
Yeah, I do because they suck, and I've been saying that since their 6-2 time.
But in news, Mike White? No.
Yep, Mike White is
Mike
back at
White.
starting quarterback.
Mike White is cleared to come back, cleared to participate and practice and return to full-time #1 quarterback duties as Mr. Zach Wilson has been put back on the bench.
I mean, he belongs there, but we're going to get into that a little bit later.
Moving on.
We're going to go to our Christmas Eve games, which were kind of interesting. We had to start off with the Bills beating the Bears 35-13. Was anyone surprised about this?
A little bit, because especially when you see the score, Bears up 10-6 going into halftime. It was like going to be one of those things. Oh, great! It's one of the most shitty teams in the football league going to upset one of the top teams and hurt their #1 seed chances. But Buffalo came back. They got the job done. Put up the dub.
Yep. Good job on the Bills securing their continue to secure that #1 seed going into going into the playoffs coming up. Really big that they actually do maintain that because it is very cold right over there right now and a lot of snow. And the Bills would benefit from playing there than any other team would. So Bills looking to win out the rest of the season to maintain that #1 seed and have home field advantage for the playoffs.
Also, yeah, Singletary being the lead in rush out of the team, but keep an eye on Cook. That boy over the last few weeks has really been showing something.
Yep. Moving on, we're going to go to the next game, which was kind of an under-the-radar performance game. We have the Saints and the Browns. The Browns officially being knocked out of the playoff contention. Surprise there. Saints kind of holding on to a chance to actually win the division, winning 17-10 over the Browns. Really nothing to go off on there. Didn't seem like an interesting game, advertised or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, nothing we can say on that except for, maybe next year, Cleveland.
Yeah, maybe next year, Cleveland, especially when you got Deshaun Watson, to start your season.
Unless he gets, arrested again.
Yeah.
Going into a former AFC West rivalry battle.
Yep.
From a long time ago. We have the Seattle Seahawks visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City winning 24-10. The score was a lot closer than the game actually was. Because I didn't watch the game, and I don't know if you did.
I did.
From what I saw, though,
it was kind of the flip-flop kind of deal where KC came out strong in the first half. Seattle then started to get together in the second half, but unfortunately it was too late.
I think they were trying to they were trying to give them a Christmas present of not whooping their ass too bad. Because from what I saw, and obviously I'm going off of highlights and everything like that, but from what I saw, Patty Mahomes, Mr. Patrick Mahomes, Mr. MVP in the making, was picking apart that defense like they were,
The defense was having big issues. I mean, even watching like Jordan Brooks, he was struggling in the passing game a lot, getting burned by like Kelsey and some other guys. It was just literally he was picking it apart, like you said. It was sucks to watch. And
I think that the Chiefs were they're a lot more respectful team. They're not a team that knows that we're gonna pick apart this team so bad that literally the score should have been 49-10. How I saw the game was going. So they were playing more conservative, kind of, because the biggest thing too
Seattle at times were moving the ball. I mean, they were getting some plays. Unfortunately, having a couple of guys out there, wide receivers that are not used to having full-time playing time.
Yeah,
dropping passes, not doing correct routes. Kenneth Walker, he was actually looking real good. It took him a little while to get started.
Yeah,
but it was just one of those things. Some things were going good, some things were not going good.
I just think for the Seattle's offense was moving the ball on the Kansas City's defense. I'm just talking about the offense for Kansas City not punching, keeping their foot on the gas against the Hawks because I think they could have, and if they did, the score would have been a lot different. Because it just proves, and I'll say this when we get to the playoff picture and everything like that. I think the best team in the NFL is Kansas City because they have games where they make mistakes, but they're so close in those games that it doesn't you kind of overlook the mistakes.
Right.
I think they're better than Philadelphia and better than Buffalo, in my opinion. And a lot of that is because how Mahomes is controlling that offense and the plays and everything like that. They honestly are the best team. I honestly think, and this might be a little early, and I could be wrong come Super Bowl time. But if I had to pick a team right now to win the Super Bowl, it is Kansas City. I think that they are going to win the Super Bowl. They have everything kind of in line. The only thing I fear for them is their defense. Not the greatest. If they give it up, quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, I think as well. Patrick Mahomes has actually really matured. 4 years now.
Oh,
5 years.
5 or 6.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah,
at least 5. I want to say.
Yeah.
But he's actually really matured as a young quarterback, in my opinion. Obviously, been around, like I said, until we got the correct number there. But I think he's really matured. He's a young guy who actually really matured quickly.
He's the sad part is that I don't consider him a young guy because he's been in the league for as in on quotation a young period of time, but his demeanor, his play, his attitude, his work ethic, he's got the mindset of a 10-year vet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing is that he's only been in the league for a short amount of time, but he's got a mindset of a 10-year vet. He's honestly matured so well. But we can get into more Patty Mahomes talk later. Expect to see a Josh Allen, Patty Mahomes jersey in this household at some point.
Yeah, right.
Going to the next game, we have a close game. The Minnesota Vikings beating the Giants 27-24. Giants still holding on to a playoff spot at the time, but they can't afford games like this anymore because you never know what could happen. Vikings finding that miracle that they've been fighting all year long of getting wins at the last minute.
See, that's the problem, though, is the Vikings are getting these wins in the last quarter of the game or overtime games.
Yep.
And you guys got to finish your games. You got to put up some more points. There's something with that defense that's got to come up, more bigger for you guys or something. Playoff time, man. It's lose or go home. I mean, it's lose or go, on.
The thing about the I was thinking about the way you said loser.
I know.
Loser go on. I'm like,
I know.
Wait, it's always win or go home. He's throwing me off here. He just got off work, so
it was my first day literally back to work in like 9 days.
Yeah. The thing about the Vikings is they're way too talented to be this close. Yeah, their record is 12-3, but honestly, they're so overrated in my opinion. And I love Justin Jefferson. I think he's a stud, not just because I have him on fantasy football, but he's actually a good player. But their offense also isn't the greatest when you have Dalvin Cook, who is a top tier running back in the league. I'd say top 10. You have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, TJ Hawkinson on your offensive
newly acquired TJ.
And Kirk Cousins has shown that he could be a top 7 quarterback. But this year, I don't think he is. And the Giants are kind of, like I said early on in the year, I think the Giants are going to fall apart. And that this is a kind of a sign, as we've seen lately, that they haven't. Yeah, they're still in the playoff run, but once we get to the playoff picture, we'll see how close it is. That the Giants can't afford games like this where they're losing.
I honestly don't think that if Giants do make the playoffs that they're not going to get around.
No. A lot of these wild card teams that are going to get in for the NFC and the AFC, there's no chance of them winning.
No, you're going to get in, but that's it. That's all you're going to do is get in. You're just going to be fodder for whoever team you're playing.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Saquon Barkley, you've been having a great year since your injury last year. bounce back year.
Oh yeah.
Talk about comeback player of the year. Don't get me wrong, but unfortunately, man, unfortunately, you got no other weapons around you. Daniel Jones, going up and down. They don't have a wide receiver core.
Oh.
So
Moving on, we got into a fairly close game here. The Bengals beating the Patriots 22-18. Patriots making a late game push, falling to the Bengals. Bengals started off strong in the first half, going up 22-0. But the Patriots came back and put up 18 unanswered points. I mean, I still think the Bengals are legit once they get all their receivers healthy. They're a three-headed monster, but again, they got to figure it out. They got to step it up because this is not, this could be a sign. You do that to any of these playoff teams that are in the playoffs right now, on playoff time. That's not 18 points. That's 30 some points. You lose. So hoping to see what the Bengals can do the rest of the season and try to maintain. Mixon's got to get going.
yeah, unfortunately, Miss was held in check this week. Hopefully, here they're playing a lower team next week. We'll see here in a bit. So hopefully, that might give him a chance to help booster him back up a bit. Plus, yeah, having Joe Burrow throw the ball 50 times is way too much for a quarterback.
Well, that's what's going to hurt them is that they have to keep relying on Burrow. You shut down Mixon. That was kind of the reason why they were so good last year is they had Mixon involved with Burrow and the receivers, and now that Mixon's been on a downslide since his big performance this year, he hasn't done anything since, and Burrow's having to take control. And yeah, it's done really well for him, but ultimately, it's going to cost you.
Even though you got Chase, Higgins, Boyd, and Hurst, the tight end.
Hayden Hurst, yes.
Hurst,
Drew Sample.
Drew Sample. I mean, yeah, you got all those great wide receivers, but still, you need to have a running.
Yeah,
that is key.
Going to the next game, which
real quick before we move on, was there some issue that apparently happened with Mac Jones in this? That you remember? I saw something about it.
Honestly, I didn't pay attention.
All right. Anyway, if you guys know, please let me know, or if you have the link to it. But I saw something about somebody was very unhappy with Mac Jones, and he was going to get fined or something like that.
I mean, we'll see. All right, going to the next game, kind of an upset game. The Panthers continuing their hot streak, beating the playoff, what was considered playoff bounded Detroit Lions, 37-23. Kind of being little spoilers right there. That could ultimately hurt the Lions.
The flame finally got extinguished.
Oh, it could be the start. The Panthers, though, looking to gain another game closer to that NFC South title.
The Panthers could actually win out right now and actually take that division title.
Yep. That's what they're looking to do. And it's kind of been that change since they got rid of Mayfield. And what's funny is this team
McCaffrey and Mayfield.
They got rid of McCaffrey. They got rid of Robbie Anderson. They got rid of Baker Mayfield. And they're somehow better.
Right.
I don't know. Did they fire their head coach or no?
Yes. He got fired fourth or fifth game. Rule.
Yeah, Matt Rule.
Matt Rule.
So apparently they decided to clean house, and they're obviously a little bit better. I got nothing more on this game. Do you?
Yep. Hopefully, Lions. I kind of want you to get in. I kind of do want you.
I want you to get in, but you got to figure it out. And Panthers, you know what? Let's get you in. Let's get in. Going to the next game. With the Ravens clinching and the Falcons eliminated now. Ravens coming up 17-9 over the Atlanta Falcons. Like I said, Ravens officially clinched a playoff berth, and the Falcons were officially eliminated. Honestly, that was expecting after Mariota's injury and him. I gotta figure out what's going on with that Mariota story. Is he still on the team or what? But obviously, Ritter started for the Falcons, put up a subpar game, which you kind of thought of a rookie. Obviously, not getting anything going. Utley coming in and continuing. Obviously, though, this team needs Lamar back.
The offense is still struggling. Yes, they're getting wins, but they are getting wins that
against bad teams.
Against teams that they should be literally blowing out of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. You look at the Falcons team, what they are right now. Ravens should have won this game like, easily, like 30-9
Yeah.
at least. So hopefully they do get Lamar back, or I believe the intention is to get him back here
For the playoffs.
for the playoffs.
Which, honestly,
I don't know if we're supposed to get him back for at least one more season game, regular season game, or just come back playoffs.
I would. The two options I would do is either A, play him in the last game, get him that repetition before the playoffs, or B, keep giving him reps during practices and sit him out until playoffs and get him fresh for the playoffs. And I think as long as you maintain a high level of practice for him and get him in that motion, I think that would be a better thing because you just clinched the playoffs, so you really have nothing else to lose except for you don't want your quarterback to overwork himself.
Right.
So moving on, we have an upset win here. It's actually very fun to watch. The Texans beating the Titans, helping the Jaguars push into that AFC South title spot.
Texans, do you now not want the number 1 draft pick next year?
No,
What the heck?
they're gonna get it. They're at 2 wins. Let's calm down.
I mean, come on. The Bears only have 3 wins here. I mean, come on. They could tout the Bears here.
Let's be real. Let's be real on something, okay? The Texans, you know what though? They've proven that even though they are on record the worst team, I don't think they actually are the worst team. They just don't have anybody. They just don't have talent. They obviously have talent because it's professional, but they don't have anyone that's like, honestly, who the hell's a Pro Bowler on this team? You know, that's my thing. Is they have guys that like Philip Dorsett, and Brandon Cooks and everything like that, but
Pierce, the running back.
Yeah, Pierce, who's having a pretty good year. But honestly, like the Texans aren't terrible. They're bad. They're just not terrible. But they got the win over the Tennessee Titans, who I think are very one-dimensional. I think this is a start of things to come next year. I think, honestly, I don't think Tannehill will be quarterback next year for them.
I'm possibly seeing Tannehill is definitely out. I'm even thinking he actually might be out, not even a Texan next year. Either a different team or retirement.
Could be. Mike Vrabel could be on the hot seats. The Titans kind of really screwed themselves over this year by trading off AJ Brown. There's no reason to trade him off. Would didn't gain anything from it. You solidified that you only want to give Derrick Henry the ball, and that's not working out.
Exactly.
So good on the Texans. I actually say good on you for winning. Moving on, we have still probably the most surprising team to be in this spot right now with the situations they have at quarterback. The 49ers whooping the Commanders 37-20. Again, Commanders a team that's holding on to a playoff spot, but a game like this does not help them whatsoever. I'm sorry, but at this point it doesn't matter who's at quarterback. The Niners are just too damn good.
I mean, obviously, it doesn't matter if you're going with Garoppolo, if you're going with Purdy right now. I mean, hell, it even seems like you or I can even go out there and the Niners still could go out and win the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
And we'd be like, thank you for carrying my ass.
Right? I mean, here's the deal. I think actually Purdy is solidifying that he wants this to be his team. I think he doesn't want to give it to Trey Lance next year.
Oh, why not? I mean, any quarterback that literally gets drafted so late in the draft or literally dead last.
Yeah.
I mean, you're out there to prove something.
Yeah.
You're out there to prove it. I mean, man, if he takes that starting job, you deserved it, dude. You earned it.
I mean, look at him. He's won, 3 games as a starter now? And then the 4th one when he came in for the injured Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And, actually, we'll look this up real quick. We'll get back to this page. Their games have been... So, yeah, he took over this game. He has one game where it was a 1-score game. But to be fair...
Yeah. He played against Brady in the Bucs.
Yeah, because he came in this game. And this was his first start.
Yep.
Which that was a really, honestly, that was such a cool thing to see as his dad react to his, his first start and his touchdown. That was a blessing. This game here, though it was a one score, I don't think it was as close as people think.
Yeah.
I think that this was, again, Seattle knows how to stay in the game, but they really controlled. And then here, and then honestly, Niners, come on now. This is platter shit right here, okay?
Jeez, you guys get cupcakes here at the end of the season,
right? You might be looking at a home field advantage of that shit right there.
All right,
but I mean, there's a lot to be said on this game, and a lot of it is he is coming around finally from his early start of being injured and being out. It's really nice to see Kittle performing the way Kittle is. McCaffrey is balling out. We have Ray McLeod III right now. That is
who?
Yeah, who? But he's killing it.
One catch for 71 yards.
That's one carry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, one carry. Well, sorry, I said wide receiver.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's in the rushing. He got that one breakout run.
You have Brandon Ayuk right now, and they're doing this without Deebo Samuel as well.
Christian McCaffrey hasn't been much of an problem as lately. I don't know why, but it feels like they're kind of dialing down McCaffrey back. I think they're trying to keep him from getting injured too.
He's still productive and he's still putting up good numbers. But yeah, come on. Average-wise, this guy has 71-yard average run.
Yeah, one carry.
But McCaffrey's still putting up big numbers, but they're not overworking. And that's the great thing about what Shanahan's doing.
I think that's the thing is that they're not overworking.
Exactly. They're trying to maintain a level of healthy, maintain that health.
Yeah.
Because they need these guys for this run. This is honestly the team to watch out for in the NFC. And we'll actually talk about the team that is kind of in the front running for the NFC to win it all this year. But I would love to see the Niners go. I think they have the most potential to go out of the NFC. That's my opinion. And their defense is their defense is just honestly, it's a little bit like watching the Niners back in the Harbaugh era. How they played and everything like that. Going into this Hawks, the 2013 Hawks. Ball hawks and the DBs. They have good sound linebackers. Not like studs, but they're good. But then you got a D-line pass rush that's just crazy. You got a D-line. You got Bosa. Who's
Bosa,
showing that he's a lot better than
Ward.
He's a lot better than his brother, actually. So, you got anything else on the Niners Commanders?
Not really. Just, it was that bad that Commanders had to bring Carson Wentz into play.
Yeah. Going into potentially what a lot of people said was game of the week. A lot of stuff going on there. We had the Cowboys upsetting the Jalen Hurts missing Philadelphia Eagles. And so Jalen Hurts was out with a shoulder injury. No word on if he's playing at all soon.
I haven't seen anything yet because, it's kind of looking like the same thing, like with the Ravens. Keeping the quarterback because it's a shoulder injury.
Yep.
Letting him rest up, let it heal up, keep it for playoffs. And I'm going to say this. Watching this game, Gardner Minshew did not actually do that bad looking at his stats. Yes, he threw a couple interceptions. But you look at at least one of those, it was not his fault.
Yes. This was the first start of the year for Gardner Minshew, baby. Cougars pride right there. He's my favorite quarterback. But again, what this shows me is, okay, so the Cowboys won 40-34. And that was with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. Which tells me if this was Jalen Hurts, Eagles win. Eagles win. He put up 34 points with Gardner Minshew. Cowboys, I'm sorry, but you're starting to show your overratedness here.
Even though CeeDee Lamb balled out, I don't.
But to start the game off, Dak threw an interception to a defensive end.
Yeah, pick six.
You know, he really had to step it up. I don't think that this was a sign that the Cowboys are ready to dethrone the Eagles. I think that's like they took advantage of the fact that this is Gardner's first start and really his first action, his first major action all year. And to control him, to make things happen like that. Honestly, though, like the Eagles are still good. They are gonna lose. They have lost their um, offensive tackle Lane Johnson for the remainder of the regular season, which could help hurt them.
What was that again?
I don't remember what the injury was,
but it wasn't long. It wasn't long. Longevity was.
He's at least out for the regular season.
Okay.
So, which means that if they maintain and get that number one seed, we won't see him until the second round of the playoffs. Well, but we'll see how that plays and everything like that. I mean, think
that'd be huge for him too.
That is going to be huge for him. And honestly, though, I don't know. Speaking of the quarterback play, it really doesn't hurt the Eagles too much. I think Gardner's a good fit for the team. He's not as mobile as Hurts, which kind of is the whole thing about him, is that he's a major dual threat. But Gardner's very efficient and very accurate.
He's a veteran now. You really think about it. He's a veteran.
Well, I mean, people forget he was actually a league leader in efficiency and accuracy when he started for Jacksonville.
Right.
I mean, he's not bad. He's actually good. He actually could be a starter in some teams.
Yeah, you need to give him give this guy a whole season.
Yeah, you got to give him a chance. I was kind of hoping Seattle would take him.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping the Niners would take him. Oh, man, can you imagine Gardner Minshew on the Niners team right there? Can you imagine Gardner Minshew on that Niners team?
Oh, my God. Him and Kittle, I could just fucking see become the bestest best.
That would be the funniest. That'd be the funniest TV show in the world.
I could see a reality show with those two.
No, I could see a sitcom. I could see maybe bringing back Full House and be like two uncles or something like that. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
God.
That would fit perfectly for Gardner.
Yep.
Anyways, good win for the Cowboys. Eagles, we'll see how they play out the rest of the year. Going into a actually very good game. Very low scoring, but kind of a fun end to watch. The Steelers, on the last drive of the game, coming back to beat the Raiders 13-10 and keeping their playoffs hope alive and keeping Tomlin's streak of winning seasons alive as well. This has actually been... I am not at all a Steelers fan. I am going to say that. I'm not at all a Steelers fan. I do love T.J. Watt. I also like Mike Tomlin. And it's kind of... The turnaround that this team has done is, again, good football right there.
Yeah.
It is really good football, and it shows how good Tomlin is as a coach.
Yeah. I mean, even though you're looking at the Steelers with 7-8 records, people think, they've lost 8 games. They've been a shit team this year. They really have not been, except for, yes, sometimes. But, yeah, they've lost some key players, throughout the season. Like I said, T.J. Watt being their big sack leader on that defense. You even said since he came back, this team has turned it around.
Exactly.
Another team also that's playing the quarterback roulette, trying to figure out, okay, Pickett the last couple of weeks now is kind of starting to get it together. Yep. Harris is all of a sudden starting to get it together. The tight end has all of a sudden.
And they're doing better since trading off Chase Claypool, which has been helping them.
Exactly. Another guy who's gone somewhere and has done nothing, literally.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even got a touchdown for Chicago yet.
He's barely caught a ball, I think.
Yeah.
I have to look this up, but the Raiders might be eliminated from the playoffs at this point. If not, they still have
I think they have 1 week left.
There's a 1 week left? Okay. Again, the Raiders season kind of being as it is. Very close games, but unfortunately falling in the end. But Steelers, let's see what you guys can do. Let's see. I don't think you're going to make the playoffs, but you're making some rush. You're making some noise.
I do think, though, if they ended up doing, I think they're going to do the same thing. They're just not going to get through the first round.
No, there's too good a team.
Yeah.
Going into Christmas Day, I know we're not going to do it in order because I got to talk about something. So we're going to start off with Christmas Day. We're going to start off with the Green Bay Packers at Miami. coming back to win 26-20. I watched the fourth quarter of this match, and all I could say is, Tua, you need to sit out. You need to be done.
Dolphins were actually looking really good. They were looking really good. And then, yeah, Tua just fucking went downhill the second half.
Well, you heard he's back on concussion protocol.
Yeah.
He needs to be done. You need to shut him down, because that's 3 concussions. That is not a good sign. And he threw some very questionable balls in the fourth quarter twice that cost him. I mean, this team was up 20-13, and then this team came back and won, keeping the Packers' playoff hope alive. The Dolphins are holding on. There's still a chance they can get knocked out. And unfortunately, this might, the Tua being out is going to probably affect it. But honestly, I think Tua needs to sit out. Take it as it is with the season, whatever happens, everything like that. But do not risk this guy's health. This is a brain injury. This is something that is very serious. He's obviously still, like, his play that you see.
He's under the effects of it.
Yeah. But that's all I got on this game.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about it.
All right, we're gonna jump to the Buccaneers and the Cardinals. Tom Brady coming out and winning 19-16, maintaining a slight lead in that NFC South tip and title match right there. Honestly, this game was so up and down. The Cardinals without...
It really wasn't exciting to watch.
No, it was really boring.
It was a very boring game.
What's actually funny is almost every Tom Brady matchup we've seen all year, it's been all boring. It's been nothing but a boring game.
Yeah, which is very unusual.
It's very unusual, but that's what we get for a 45-year-old quarterback right now.
I mean, his father time finally caught up with him.
Maybe. Going into the second game in Christmas, but the last one we'll talk about, because this was a big fat dub certified ass whooping. The Rams whooping the Broncos. Mind you, this is the Rams team without Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr.,
Aaron
Donald, a fathom of running backs. I mean, if you took the team last year, it's pretty much non-existent.
Yeah.
And you whooped the Russell Wilson Broncos 51-14. My God. And I ain't going to talk about it here because we can talk about it in the next session. But holy shit, Broncos, you're another form of turd nuggets that I've ever seen.
I mean, more icing on the cake too with Bobby Wagner picking off his former team.
Did he really? Did he really pick him off?
He picked Russell Wilson off.
It'd be funnier if it was a pick six. I would have laughed hysterically.
It would have been great.
I would have laughed hysterically.
But no, Bobby had a pick against him.
Yeah, I hope he sacked him too. Yeah, just all I could say is this sums up how the season's going, and we'll talk about that because there's a couple things we'll talk about this, and it'll kind of lead to what we think about this season, everything like that. But good on the Rams, though both teams are eliminated from the playoffs. The Rams showing a lot of pride and not giving up and everything like that. And just, you know what, Baker Mayfield, I like your turnaround so far. You have a chance to be the starting quarterback next year because you never know about Stafford. He's getting up there in age and he could be done soon. So this might be your future. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or it can help you get it onto a team.
Mayfield's looking for a team. He's still fighting for that spot. So
exactly.
He might be that guy that takes over for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Going into Monday Night Football, a game that I did not watch because, again, it just seemed very boring.
It actually ended up being very boring.
The Chargers beating the Colts 20-3. Not much to be said on this. Austin Eckler had himself a game. Justin Herbert, The problem is that this was a very boring performance by the Chargers, but they still won 20-3.
I'm glad so, because Keenan Allen, you saved my butt in fantasy football. You finally stepped up for me.
Yeah. Chargers getting the win, also securing a playoff berth. So they have officially made the playoffs. So good on the Chargers. The Colts, I know this. There's the thing about the Colts I read is that someone would made an article saying Jeff Saturday was the worst, is off to being the worst coach in the NFL as of right now, and here's why. The dude was never a coach. He was literally hired by the GM for whatever reason as making like, oh, you were such an amazing player for us. Come be our head coach. That doesn't. And no
He has no
offense to
resume.
There's no offense to just Jeff Saturday. I actually love Jeff Saturday. He's funny, and he's Lyman brothers. We brothers, okay? We love each other. But he doesn't have coaching credentials.
Yeah.
That's like me. That's like me. Even though I'm a coach, if I joined the NFL, I would struggle because it's a whole different level. It's so different. People don't realize how.
I think also, it's a whole different level. I mean, one stat, I can't remember exactly how it went, but I thought it was funny. I think Foles got sacked 8 or 9 times in this game. It was at least 8 times, maybe 9. They brought up a stat. Jeff Saturday did not allow more than 6 sacks a season when he was the center for the Colts.
Yeah, but you can't control that as a coach.
But see, why did you even bring that up?
Again,
that was brought up. I was
it's stupid stats.
What are you trying to do here?
It's like
are you telling me that okay, Jeff Saturday, go in the locker room, go throw some pads and a helmet on, and get out there?
Yeah,
player coach, you know.
Yeah, like what the purpose of it? What's the purpose of it? That's like saying Kraken broke another team franchise record in their second freaking year. Yes, I'm still. Yeah, I fucking hate that shit. But again, and he took over a team that's just garbage. The team is just garbage.
Yeah,
they were garbage, absolute trash. All right, so that's it for our reviews. We'll get into playoff picture as of right now. Going to the AFC the current look right now. Kel, do you want to go through it real quick?
Yeah, we can go through it real quick. Starting off, we got still Buffalo at number 1, Kansas City at number 2, Cincinnati at number 3, Jacksonville not quite yet. They are leading the division, but they have not quite clinched it yet. As you can see it right there, they need wins or a tiebreak over Tennessee to stay in it. Got Baltimore, who's
this is the reason why they're.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. This is the reason why from last week. I'm sorry. I always keep thinking it's like how the whole outcome.
Yeah, like that stuff. Yeah.
That's how I read it each time. Anyway, yes. Jacksonville is saying at number 4. Baltimore's got that 5th seed, and like I said, Chargers just now have clinched that 6th seed. So right now, the 7th seed is up for grabs.
Yep. Currently, right now we have the 4th seed, which will come down between the Jaguars and the Titans for that spot there, and then the 7th seed, the final playoff spot, coming down the wire. Currently, Dolphins have a 1-game lead over the Patriots, Jets, and Steelers. So I'm not going to count the Titans because they're not going to make it.
Hey, yeah.
And then 2 games over the Raiders. Thoughts on how this outcome could.
I think we're still going to see the same as we're seeing right here. Like you said, I don't think the Titans are deserving of this, so I think Jaguars are going to be that number 4 seed. It's the 7th seed right now that needs to be. Who deserves it? Yes, Miami earlier in the year, or at least a few games ago, you were the most deserving, but now I'm kind of thinking not so much anymore, Miami.
Me either. Here's my sleeper pick.
That was the one I was looking at, but
it's kind of the one I actually want it to be because I don't think the Patriots are deserving.
I would not be surprised if the Patriots again. I don't, and I kind of hope the Jets don't get in.
Fuck the Jets,
because like I said, you're going to be father if you.
I don't think Miami deserves it because of the shit they've been through all year.
They'll probably get in because of that reason, but they're not deserving.
I don't think they deserve it. I don't think the Patriots are done enough to do it. I don't think the Jets. I think the Steelers and their turnaround have
The
been like,
turnaround, yeah.
you know what, Steelers, I'd like to see you make that push because you might actually be a team that can make any of these matchups look good, in my opinion. If you're talking Miami, so as of right now, it'd be Kansas City versus Miami, Cincy versus the Chargers, Jaguars versus the Ravens. Honestly, if I had to watch these games and rate, who's going to be looking good, Chiefs are going to whoop their ass. Bengals are going to beat them by probably at least 10 points. And if Lamar's back, we have an upset. In seeding wise. If not, I think the Jacks can beat them. I think, though, the Steelers, though if they make it, they'll play the Chiefs, would still lose. But I think they'd give them a run for their money because their defense, again, since having TJ Watt back, has kind of helped them. Obviously, we see eliminations by the Browns, Colts, shitbags, and Texans.
Yeah. Raiders are also a team. I know we didn't touch much with them, but yeah, I think after next week, Raiders will be eliminated.
I don't think the way the season's been
going. I think, despite win or lose next week.
Yeah.
Obviously, they lose, they're out. But even if they win, I believe they're going to be out mathematically.
Yeah. Going to the NFC, we have, as we've seen for a while, kind of really no changes here. The Philadelphia Eagles, number 1, Vikings 2, Niners 3, Buccaneers 4, with the wild card teams being the Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, Washington Commanders. Outside looking in, we have a very tight race with the Seattle Seahawks, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, Carolina Panthers, and New Orleans Saints still have a chance to take that 4th seed. Kind of, we touched on this. I don't see this team. I would be surprised if the Commanders still stay in this.
Yeah, same here. I think the Commanders are actually getting bumped out, and I hope the Lions, or even possibly the Panthers take it.
I would still love Seattle. I think they have a legit chance with the last 2 games being against the Jets and the Rams. The Rams is a little iffy for me, though.
Anytime we play the Rams, it's always
because they've been kind of on fire, and we almost lost to them on a 3rd-string quarterback that I don't even remember his name.
Wolfson?
Whatever his name is, Wolf Boy. But now they have Baker Mayfield, and they're putting up some numbers and names. I think New Orleans is knocked out this week. I think Carolina, and I want to see them take over the Bucs. Because I don't think the Buccaneers are that playoff team.
Buccaneers have been struggling all year long.
Now, granted, I don't think anyone from the NFC South is a playoff team, but Carolina.
You gotta look at somebody in that division who's deserving. I mean, yeah, nobody is deserving.
No one is deserving.
But unfortunately, the way the whole system is, you got to put somebody.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously, if we could take Tampa Bay completely out, or let's just say that whole division out. And, put in, New York, or put Seattle or Detroit in there and say, okay, yes, those teams are deserving, but that's not the way it works.
Yeah. And the one interesting thing I would like to see is there are 2 games left. If this team goes on a 2-game losing streak, one of these teams could sneak in that number 1 seed. And I honestly think it would be this team. And I'm praising these guys a lot. I know a lot of people are going to ask me why I'm praising them a lot. But trust me, when you watch good football and you know a team that plays good football, it's the Niners. And it's one of those things, we talk about 3rd-string quarterbacks here and there and poor performance, but their 3rd-string quarterback doesn't play like a 3rd-string quarterback.
Well, if you also look, too, with the 49ers, they're not just beating you with the quarterback. They're beating you with the run game. They're beating you with the receivers, with the tight end.
More importantly, they're beating you with the defense.
They're beating you with their defense. The defense is, playing that nice, good smash mouth type defense and also being ball hawks.
Yeah, I think the NFC South is going to come down between the Eagles and the Niners. It's looking that way. I will be. I will be surprised.
Right now, NFC Championship game, Eagles, Niners. Let's see it.
Book it. Let's book it.
As long as it's. But the problem, who do you want in that quarterback for the Niners, though?
Purdy.
For that championship game.
Purdy.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
I'm going the hot hand.
I'm fine with that.
Because Purdy gives them mobility. Garoppolo's a statue. and it figures because he was in the Belichick era. He's a Belichick system guy, and Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Jimmy Garoppolo. They're not mobile quarterbacks. They're slow as hell. I want the hot hand. Give me Purdy. And the not only do I want Purdy, but this team wants Purdy. They believe in him.
Yeah, they're standing around this guy. They're standing behind him.
Now, you want me to have a good matchup? Gardner Minshew, Brock Purdy, book it. Except Gardner Minshew, I still wish you were on the night. That'd be so fun.
Also, I think the Green Bay Packers are going to fall short. I know people are thinking, they're starting to turn it around to you. I don't think so.
We'll look at the schedule for the next 2 weeks. Actually, when we do our scheduling pick, we'll want to look at both schedules and see who has the best chance. As of right now, knowing the Seahawks schedule, I actually think it's Seattle. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. In the AFC, if I had to pick an AFC championship game, come on. We're going to get it at round 3.
Round 3.
We're going to get it round 3. And I know you will be indifferent than I am on this. I still got to go.
I know.
This team is not going to go out.
I'm happy to see Buffalo at number 1, but I think Kansas City is technically the number 1.
I think they're the better team.
Yes, they are going to be the better team.
But if it's in Buffalo, I don't know about that. If it's in Buffalo, I don't know because
if Kansas City's
Bills Mafia,
if Kansas City has to go to Buffalo, or if Kansas City has to go to Cincinnati,
KC has to play at home. Because here's the deal: this crowd is fierce.
That's what I'm saying, especially because the loss record at Cincinnati that they've had.
Plus, come on, Bills Mafia, there'll be tables breaking everywhere. It's like watching the Dudley Boys in WWE back in the day. Edge Christian, the Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, just all around. And here, I think, Matt, I actually, so I say in the AFC, home field advantage plays in a huge factor. I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't to me. I think if it's in Philadelphia or it's in San Francisco, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be an all around good game, and either team can win. I don't think there's an advantage there. Yes, there's an advantage here because it would be colder, but this is not a team that actually falls on adaptability. They'll play anywhere and still whoop some ass.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at the fact that their roster.
I think the Niners are going to dominate anywhere. If they have to go on a road game, they're going to dominate.
I still want them. They're my pick for the Super Bowl. I think it's Kansas City, but I really want it to be the 49ers.
You, the viewers, the subscribers, people that have not yet done any of those things, let us know what you think.
Exactly. Going into now our predictions for the week. We're going to go through this week. And then we'll take a look at the playoff teams who are in line left, who has a better chance, something like that. So let's get to our picks, starting with our last. I think this is our last.
It has to be.
Thursday Night Football game. We have the Cowboys at the Titans. It's Dallas.
Them boys.
It's Michael Irvin gonna have a heyday on First Take with Stephen A. Smith about how the boys are back.
The boys are back. The boys are back.
So we both go Cowboys in that game.
Both Cowboys.
We're going to the first. We're going to go to Sunday night. On the first, we have the Arizona Cardinals at the Atlanta Falcons. Cardinals.
I'm actually going to go Atlanta.
All right, we're going to go to Chicago at Detroit Lions. A much-needed win for the Detroit Lions for this game. Give me the Lions.
The Pussycats.
So the Bears?
Oh. Pussycats.
Because they ain't no pussycats. They some keys of the jungle. The Bears are some cubbies right there, right? They should take the name the Chicago Cubs. They ain't no bears. They're cubs. They're like Winnie the Poohs right there.
Yeah, duh. That's funny. Chicago has two teams named the Bears and the Cubs.
Yeah.
Do they have the Wolverines too, and some other bear name somewhere around there?
Yeah. Next game we have.
Why isn't even that? Why even bother this?
I know. But we're gonna talk about this.
You might as well just put in all your third string Kansas
No.
Mahomes can
No. Hold on a second.
Mahomes and Kelsey,
Hold on,
you just
hold
take the nail.
Hold on. No, Kelsey, do not have. Here's the thing. I'm excited for this game, but there's one thing that's gonna fucking kill me. Zach has Travis Kelsey in the league championship game against me. Every time I play Zach, Travis Kelsey has a fucking game. Kelsey get one touchdown, that's it. Mahomes throw to anybody else in the game. Please don't hurt me. We in line for the championship.
You're saying that Kittle, Purdy, please hit all the TD.
Yes.
Kittle.
Yes.
Or if Debo comes back, give it to Debo.
So many things.
Give them each 4 touchdowns.
Say something. But come on. Help me out. We in the championship, okay? And we talk about that a lot. I have a fantasy football league, and we're in the championships right now. We actually do a couple of different leagues here like that. I am fighting for a championship in my league, and then I'm also fighting for 5th place in the paid league that we're in, and then I'm fighting for 3rd place in my other league. Yeah.
I'm fighting just to go out on a high note pretty much right now.
Yeah. But if we had to pick between this game, Kansas City at Denver Broncos, why are do we even need to talk about this? Do we even need to know? Russell Wilson, I haven't said it all day. We're going to wrap up the shoulders. We're going to roll them up the neck. We're going to say it loud and proud. Russell Wilson, fuck you. Kansas City over Denver.
Kansas City, oh yeah.
All right, we're going to go to Miami at New England. Give me the Patriots in this game.
I think so too, especially if you're saying, Tua's back in concussion protocol.
Mm-hmm. We have the Giants facing up, they are playing home, but they're playing the Indianapolis Colts. Give me the Giants. We have the Eagles versus the Saints. Give me the Eagles. Saints will be knocked out of the playoffs.
Agreed. Fly, Eagles, fly.
NFC South title on the line. Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to go with the hot hand. Give me the Panthers.
Brady, I'm going to give you one more chance.
You go, Tom?
I'm going to give you one more chance. Because this is playoff football. This is playoff football on the line. Give me the Tampa Bay Bucks.
All right, we got Cleveland at Washington. Give me. This is hard.
I'm gonna go Washington. I can't pick Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Washington as well. We got Jacksonville at Houston.
I'll go with Jacksonville.
I'm gonna go Jacksonville too, but I actually think Houston they
might pull up the upset.
Houston actually might have beaten them before. So give me Jacksonville
for that first win.
Yep. I'm gonna still go Jacksonville because there's a lot of momentum right there. Next game we have the Niners at the Raiders.
The Raiders.
You're going the Raiders.
No. I was just saying the old.
I was going
the old Chris Berman. The Raiders.
The Raiders. Okay. San Francisco by a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean, how could you not say San Francisco?
We have the Jets. The New York Jets at the Seahawks.
And who's gonna be at that game?
Oh, you know I'm gonna be at that game. I'm gonna have a long ass day because I'm gonna be at that game. Then right after the game, I'm gonna go to the Kraken game. So I will be at both events, and it's Seattle.
Seattle. Please beat the Jets. Just put a whooping. Let it all out on them after the last couple weeks of.
If you put Zach Wilson in the game, New York, you won't get the loudest boos in the world from me. I will lose my voice. I'm just saying boo. All right. We have Minnesota at Green Bay. Playoff implications on the line for Green Bay. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go Green Bay on this.
That's funny. I was leaning toward that too because I'm kind of going to give Green Bay the home field advantage here.
Yep, wintertime in Lambeau Field. And I don't believe in the Vikings.
The way that they've been, like I said, not being able to they've been in the wins but not finishing it.
Yep. All I need is Kirk Cousins. Just throw to Justin Fields, please, or Justin Jefferson all the time, please.
Hey, you know that's fine with me. Just hand the ball off to Cook sometimes, other than let him get.
Just not on the goal line, please. Throw it to Jefferson, please.
No. Give it to Cook.
No.
No, spread it out.
We have a battle.
I need the points both ways.
Listen, championship's on the line here, okay?
All
I
right.
have titles to win.
All right. Battle of Los Angeles here.
So we have Battle of Los Angeles, SoFi Stadium title on the line. I'm going with the Chargers.
Chargers.
We have Pittsburgh fighting for a playoff spot over their longtime rival, the Baltimore Ravens. I am going to go with Pittsburgh. Go with your gut. Just go with what you feel.
I'm gonna go Baltimore.
All right. And a great matchup for Monday Night Football, potentially AFC Championship caliber. We have Buffalo facing off against the Bengals.
I've been going on with all season. I'm not gonna stop now. Bills.
I'm going to be different. I'll go the Bengals.
But I would not be surprised if Cincinnati actually wins this.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cincinnati. So that is our predictions, everything like that. Looking at Week 18 on some of the playoff teams that we have in line. Obviously, let's see what we got here. We have Green Bay. Ooh, this is going to be a big game. Green Bay and Detroit.
That can really actually determine playoffs.
That will definitely determine a lot of stuff right there. We have Seattle playing against
New York and Miami could too.
Yeah, the Jets and the Dolphins there. We have, depending on how the Carolina Tampa Bay game goes, this is really big. Tampa playing Atlanta, Carolina facing off against New Orleans. This could really hurt Carolina because I think New Orleans has a better chance of upsetting Carolina than the Falcons do upsetting the Buccaneers. Obviously, we have a lot of the AFC West or AFC first seed. So depending on this game between the Monday Night Football, we have the Bengals going against Baltimore Ravens. We have Buffalo against New England. And we have KC versus the Raiders. Honestly, it could pan out that KC takes home field advantage.
That's definitely a possibility.
Looking at also NFC, pending on situations. If San Francisco wins this week and say the Eagles lose, where are the Eagles? Oh, there they are. They're facing the Giants. That could be a situation where San Francisco could take the number one seed. Philadelphia playing New York, playoff implications online there. Seattle plays against the Rams, very big implications there.
Very NFC and Jacksonville. Yep. Determine who's going to take
out. This could potentially be that AFC South Championship game, title game right there. Washington and Dallas, much needed win right here for Washington. Honestly, we're coming down to the wire where it's kind of setting up for we're not going to have playoff berth secured until this last week. It'll be interesting to see.
Not all the last few seeds are not going to be determined until last week.
Pittsburgh here playing Cleveland, playoffs on the line. You know, a lot of things could happen. All right, that is our predictions and everything like that. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know who you think will get in the playoffs and everything like that. We have a couple of breaking news from this last week to go over. Anyways, going on to some news, couple things. We want to send our condolences to the loss of a NFL legend of Franco Harris, unfortunately passing away on Wednesday last week. Franco Harris, may you rest in peace.
Yeah, unfortunately, Franco, we of course didn't get to see you play. We only know you because of the miraculous catch.
Yep.
That had happened against the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders. Yep. But from what I hear, nothing but great things about you. Very humble man, great guy to be around.
Absolutely.
Great team player. So it was really sad to hear that, you had this thing happening at Steelers Stadium where you were getting your number retired, the 50th anniversary, and then that just...
It's unfortunate, but thank you for the career that you had, and thank you for the fun that you had. I'm sure you can ask a lot of Steeler fans what he meant to all of them. So thank you, Franco Harris, and to his family. Send our condolences here at Big Fat Dubs, and we again may you rest in peace. On some other news, I don't know. You want to do the
talk about your boy?
Want to do the retirement one first?
Do your boy.
All right. Announcing today, an all-time great, a Hall of Famer in the making. J.J. Watt announcing he will be retiring from the NFL at the end of this season. It's very sad to see J.J. Watt, three-time Defensive Player of the Year, possibly should have been the MVP at one point too.
Yeah.
That's a whole argument right there. But J.J. Watt stepping down at the end of this year, not surprising based on the fact that he's been battling a lot of injuries, which plays in a lot of factors and everything like that. But J.J. Watt, honestly, like if you didn't watch him in the Texans years, you missed out on a true legend.
Beast. A beast on
not
the
only
line.
was he a beast on the field, but such a kind-hearted. He was a gentleman. He was a great man. After the hurricane in
what
Houston,
that man did for when that hurricane,
donating a lot of money and his time to help rebuild the city of Houston. He never wanted to leave Houston.
I think he matched whatever the charity.
Exactly. Like this guy,
he matched it.
This guy helped bring Houston back. Like, and he was the face of the Houston Texans. Honestly, the greatest Houston Texan to ever be ever made. And honestly, one of the best defensive players, in my opinion, that could ever play the game as well. Unfortunately, he's going to go out a non-Super Bowl champion. But again, it's like what I've said about Edgar Martinez and a few other players. He has had all the opportunity to actually go. Like, he almost went to the Buccaneers the year they won the Super Bowl, and he didn't. And you know what? I mean, that shows his character, though. You know, as much as he wants to win, but he wants to win the right way.
Yeah.
So, J.J. Watt announcing his retirement. J.J., thank you for many, many years of just wonderful, great football, and thank you for all that you have done in the communities that you've been a part of, and to your fans, and always showing love and to the fans and to your organizations that you've been a part of.
Thank you for being a role model.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
And laying the goddamn smackdown on some people too.
Did you actually hear what Mike Tomlin said today about him?
No, I didn't.
Mike Tomlin actually came out today and said he, at the end of the season, was actually going to try to throw around $40 million at Watt, come to get him to Pittsburgh so he could actually play with his brothers and actually have all three of them play together.
That would be cool to see. I don't think it will happen, though.
Well, obviously it's not, no, but he said that was a plan that he had that he was going to try to do in the offseason.
Yeah.
Try to get him to come play with his brothers. And it's funny, I actually think he actually used the word Megazord. Have him come over and form like some Megazord.
I mean, imagine JJ on one side and TJ on the other on defensive ends. I mean, that would be a heyday. Yeah, just oh man, he kind of didn't have a spectacular run here in Arizona because he's been mostly battling injuries, but he still put up a lot of great things. But man, his years in Texas and Houston's Texans, God dang, this dude was a freaking
dominant,
monster.
Just dominant.
This dude was a monster.
I mean, before Aaron Donald came along, and JJ was the guy.
I mean, even though Aaron Donald is legitimately so good, I still take prime Watt over prime Donald. Like, Watt couldn't have been stopped. Whether you put him at D tackle or DN, this dude was just a monster. And you're also the main reason why I hate Jadeveon Clowney. Because Jadeveon should have capitalized on the fact that Watt was double teamed and they were focusing on his side more than Clowney's. Yet he still had more sacks and tackles than Clowney.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Going into other news, we have a kind of a late season coaching fire. Nathaniel Hackett of the Denver Broncos being fired after their loss to the Broncos, or to the Rams. Not really fired, but they parted ways.
Yeah.
Leading to yet more disaster that Denver season has been part of. Also, in other news for the Denver Broncos, there was a little scrummage on the sideline between Brett Rippon, the backup quarterback, and
the offensive
line on a lot of issues. I think Nathaniel was fired Because like I told you before, like I told you just recent, I think he got fired because he lost control.
He lost control. I mean, until you really actually point that out, I mean, literally that's what's been happening these last few years. As pretty much the cameras were looking on that sideline anytime something negative was going wrong, just watch something. And we've seen stuff happening that they've showed us that, players yelling at Russell Wilson, players yelling at each other, and now just this almost literally little breakout brawl almost started here. I mean, just yeah.
And the funny part is they always hide these. They came out and said, "Oh well, the issue between Brett and the lineman was all on miscommunication." I don't think so. Like between that incident, the Melvin Gordon yelling at Russ, the Melvin Gordon and Jerry Judy like disgusted and looking at Russ, the Jerry Judy, throwing a tantrum, the defense yelling at Russ, the defense yelling in general. Like I don't think that I don't. It's funny how they always hide it by trying to say like, oh, miscommunication or they're fired up. No, I think the team is absolutely just. I don't think the thing is though, and I can see why this is the thing.
And I think if what you mean in context is not giving up on the season, but just giving up on
Russ.
On Russ.
They gave up on Russ. They gave up on Nathaniel Hackett.
If that's what I'm interpreting.
Oh, I think they gave up on the season.
Well, yeah, they gave up on the season a long time ago.
There's no fight anymore. Like that defense is done carrying that team.
That defense was actually really good.
It's a top 10 defense.
Besides, losses they were having, they actually had low scoring games.
But they're a top 10 defense, and they're all low scoring games. Their offense can't do anything. But I think too, the reason why I say they're done is many reasons. Is you gave up future draft picks, future first round draft picks for him. You gave up a locker room leader in Shelby Harris, almost at the time someone who could potentially been a Pro Bowler and a good tight end. Noah Fant. Yep. Lost Drew Luck, which some people here and there, who cares and everything like that. You got Russell Wilson that you all hyped up, and he hyped it up so much that, we're making the playoffs. We're going to a Super Bowl. You also paid him $252 million, so that hurts your cap space right there. They gave up so much to get him and so much in the future for him, and this guy has been treated with so much pampering. He has his own office. He has his own. Like he came in and they gave him an office. They allowed his whole health team, his media team, like
special bathroom.
He has everything set up there. And you have a lot of these veteran guys that don't have that privilege.
Yeah,
they don't have that. This guy talks about when he did high knees on the plane on the way to London, how he's ready to go. While his teammates were sleeping, he's beating jet lag. They're sleeping because they're flying from Denver, Colorado to London.
Yeah.
And these guys are tired. And can you imagine your lineman doing high knees in the plane? Like your plane's not big.
Yeah, the aisles are not very wide.
They're not big at all. And you want, 6 400-pound linemen doing high knees? They might take down the damn plane. Right? And it's a lot of me. And then it's all so scripted that like his media talks when he's talking to the media after games, it's so scripted. And he has catchphrases and this, that, and the other. And it's like, honestly, his team is so tired of it. And I don't blame them.
Yep.
It's so tiresome to see this. And it's not even funny. It's really actually sad how bad this is because like I told you, I don't think Houston Texans are the worst team. I think it's the Broncos. Fuck the fact that they got 4 wins compared to 2. They are terrible. They're absolutely just terrible. And you know what? Yeah, and there's a lot of rumor now. Sean Payton's talking about getting an all-star coaching lineup or coaching staff together. And honestly, he'll probably go because Sean Payton wanted Russell Wilson for the longest time after Drew Brees retired and everything like that. And it kind of sucked for Nathaniel Hackett because when Denver hired him, they had the intentionally thought that they were going to get Aaron Rodgers. That was the whole thing. Russ wasn't their first choice; it was their second because they wanted Rodgers. So you got Russ, you paid Russ, which again, dumb that you paid him that much money without playing a single damn game. And then to pamper him and all that stuff, you really just beat yourself in the ass. And I think that this whole turmoil is you realize that how much like how much that this guy is not being held accountable. I think that I think they saw they're seeing now what Seattle was holding on to, was avoiding and all that stuff, and why there was a lot of turmoil at the end of the Legion of Boom era is because again, like what George Sherman said and all that stuff, that he was never held to accountability. The Broncos want that same thing because if anyone's to blame on this poor season, a lot of it's on his performance.
It honestly sounds like literally money went to the head.
Oh yeah,
To Russell Wilson's head. Money went to Russell Wilson's
fame went to the head.
Fame went to the head. It literally completely corrupted him. Because before even any of this, the guy was a top-rated quarterback. But as soon as he started, getting these bigger deals, doing this other like commercials and
it's choice awards
and then all this other stuff, all of a sudden it's just got more ridiculous. All of a sudden we start hearing all this other stuff, and all of a sudden his gameplay, even in Seattle, started like going down, and we're like wondering what the hell is going on. Even the injury, when he got the injury, he did not come back even the same. Even though he tried to play it like, oh yeah, I'm coming back, I beat the whole thing because it only took me 4 weeks, and they said it was going to be like 8, for me to be fully healed, and something happened, and that's what I'm wondering. It's just like you said, it's the fame that just.
Well, that's definitely the truth.
I think you kind of almost put it. I think you were the one that said it. He's almost thinks he's a glorified like WWE superstar.
He is. He's a glorified WWE superstar. He's a prima donna. Like he. The thing is, though, is that when we talk about the Seahawks Super Bowl in 2013 with them, I'm sorry, but Russ had nothing to do with that in that game. And I know people are gonna be like, "Well, you threw 2 touchdowns." They were up by 30 points. And it was in the fourth quarter. They were already winning by 30 points in the fourth quarter.
And it's not like both those touchdowns, especially like Jermaine Kearse, just happened to make some great spin moves and bounce off and get in.
Oh, I credit that more to Kearse because breaking 2 tackles or breaking 4 people on 2 spin moves, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Or Doug Baldwin breaking one on a spin move and then ducking his other one.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, that Super Bowl, that whole run in the Super Bowl and in the Super Bowl alone in 48, that was the defense. And I can't even credit Marshawn. And I love me Marshawn.
Oh yeah,
but if our defense was not the defense that it was, there's no Super Bowl win.
Anyway, you guys have seen how much we've expressed our feelings lately.
Yeah.
Even though I was protecting him a little bit at first, but lately I've been shifting my thoughts, and showing my feelings now, just based on what I've been seeing this year and hearing. So let's know what you guys know, based on what you've heard all year from us.
We'd love to hear what you guys think and everything like that. Let's hear some other things that you guys think of too. Obviously, there's some other stuff. We could talk about this next week or so. Figured time's kind of playing the factor. Zach Wilson, is it too early to call him a bust? Mac Jones, too early to call a bust. Stuff like that. If you guys have anything, please let us know.
I have one other thing to announce, but was there anything else you wanted to do?
No. You probably stopped me because I was going to go on a long rant, but go ahead. Yeah. Well, listen, but go
ahead. Just a rumor that I heard that's been brought up for the Indianapolis coaching job for next season. Probably won't be Saturday. They are actually looking at, despite if he wins or lose here, is Jim Harbaugh coming to coach the Indianapolis. So just a rumor. Keep an eye on that. No matter if he wins or loses in the college football playoffs and championship.
You won't be TCU. Don't lose it, Georgia. I'm sorry. Georgia's a whole different monster.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like I said, I've been pulling for the guy the whole year, but that's just something like I said I wanted to share with you guys because I thought that was interesting because apparently he played 3 or 4 years for the Colts and it actually has his name up in the Ring of Honor, which I was like, oh, I thought he played for somebody else.
I think he did, but I think Colts was also too. On that aspect too, we'll get to that as we get to the playoff, college football playoffs. We'll do a predictions on that as well, and talk about the national championship on that as well. Not really much else in the sports world. Crack been off for a while, so hopefully get the.
Well, we have the holidays, going on too, so everybody's home enjoying the holidays, unless you are some players that actually had to play.
Well, unless you're in the NBA, then there's still holidays and like that. NBA, no need to talk about that. Basketball is basketball. Luka actually playing MVP like, so let's see. We'll continue to monitor him and see how he portrays and everything like that.
Yep, keep it definitely eye on the NBA right now. We got hockey that's going to start picking back up here. We got some more college bowl games here to finish up with as well.
Yep, I think the Dogs play
Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
Yep.
Good for them.
Tennessee in the Alamo Bowl.
Let's see. Let's go Huskies. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for tonight's show. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys have thoughts on, and other ideas for movies or even trailers, everything like that. Yep, I'm going to do the whole spiel.
Thank you guys all very much. Appreciate it as always. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Give us feedback. Let us know how we are doing, what you like to see. And also, please, I actually had something there that I was going to say, but I'm like, nope, I'm not.
The battery just died on Kelly.
Yep. Go figure, right? I was going to steal somebody's thing, but I was like, no, I can't do it. Can't do it. I was going to steal it.
Oh, yeah, we can't do that.
I can't do that.
We can't do that. We can't do that.
I was literally going on his whole thing.
All right, guys. Thank you guys again. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and thank you again for tuning in. We should have some stuff coming your way with some other content. As you saw, we have some trailer videos out right now, some new ones. And we'll do movie reviews and everything like that coming up soon. Still really on the defense about Avatar: Way of the Water. And we'll do some stuff coming up as well. We have a big thing on 2023. We also will do a year in review for WWE, which we talked about as well.
We did do a Pokemon one, but unfortunately we ran into some issues with it, so we're actually going to go back and hopefully redo that one here.
Yep.
Because we want to talk about that one. Like Ryan said, WWE is something we really wanted to talk about. Probably not very many trailer views. More that we are interested in at the moment.
Not right now, unless some of the ones we've done before come out with some new ones, and then we can possibly do some more. Like I would like to see another Scream one, because the teaser trailer just kind of gave us a little bit tidbit, but we'll do another one then. But if any one of the trailers that we've done come out with a second one or something like that, we will do one. We'll do another one for it. And, as you guys saw, we did a part of a short of a cooking one. We plan to do a few more of that. We're probably going to do a little bit better, a little bit different. I'm actually showing a little bit more cooking.
Let us know if you want a cooking stream.
Yeah, the whole thing about the chili, though, is it takes a long time to cook. I don't throw it in a crock pot. I cook it on the stove. One pot. It's a long process, so that's why we didn't do the whole thing. Because it'd be a lot of me. And Kelly helps out with it too, actually. I do all the chopping. He just gets it started, gets the meat going.
If I'm home, I'll help him out. Yeah.
But he don't got the touch of the spices. It's all about the spice. It's all about the... I didn't know what I just said.
I know. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think you tried to say something French.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was French though, but
It was attempted French, but I'm not French, so that's why it
you
fails.
might just insulted. Insulted
for anyone who is French in our channel and watching, or if you know how to speak French, I apologize. I am definitely not French. So, yeah, don't kill me. So, thank you guys, and as always, have yourselves a wonderful night. Happy New Year. Have a fun, safe New Year. And be careful of all the weather. We've had some floods around here and everything like that. It's going on. So, you guys be safe, stay warm, have a happy New Year, and we're going to listen about the pie.
Right. Big Fat Dubs Army. Stay safe. Have a good one.